Internal Revenue Service IRS tax news. People with foreign accounts reminded of the extension to file 2019 FBAR by October 31st or December 31st if impacted by certain natural disasters. IR 2020-247, October 28, 2020, Washington. The Internal Revenue Service reminds U.S. citizens, entities of resident aliens with a foreign bank or a financial account that they have until October 31st, 2020 to file their 2019 Report of Foreign Bank and Financial Accounts, FBAR. The IRS coordinated the extension, there's a link to that extension here, from the usual October 15th deadline with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, for this year only to filers for 2019 calendar year FBARs, FBAR filers impacted by the California wildfires, the Iowa Derecho, Hurricane Laura, the Oregon wildfires, and Hurricane Sally continue to have until December 31st, 2020 to file their FBARs. This requirement applies to, among others, U.S. citizens and anyone with dual citizenship. It also applies to legal aliens such as corporations, partnerships, limited liability companies, estates, and trusts. In addition, U.S. citizens, entities, and resident aliens should check to see if they have a U.S. tax liability and federal tax return filing requirement. Those required to file should check to ensure all income is reported and federal tax return filing requirements are met regarding the reported accounts. In general, the filing requirements applies to anyone who had an interest in or signature or other authority over foreign financial accounts whose aggregate value exceeded $10,000 at any time during 2019. Because of this threshold, the IRS encourages U.S. persons or entities with foreign accounts, even relatively small ones, to check if this filing requirement applies to them. The FBAR FinCEN Form 114 is only available through the BSA e-filing system website. There's a link to the BSA e-filing system website here. Here are key points regarding the FBAR to keep in mind. Deadline for reporting foreign accounts. By law, the deadline for filing the FBAR is the same as for federal income tax return. This means that the FBAR FinCEN Form 114 normally must be filed electronically by FinCEN by April 15th. U.S. persons or entities who want to paper file their FBAR must file FinCEN's regulatory helpline to request an exemption from e-filing. So obviously it's been a bit of a weird year, so we had some of these extensions that took place that affected this form and filing as well. So you typically need to e-file the filing, or you can try to go for paper filing, but you have to then basically get the e-filing requirement waived in order to allow you to do the paper filing. Paper and entities who missed the April 15th deadline have an automatic extension until October 15th to file the FBAR. This extension is granted without any required action by the U.S. persons or entities. So you have the extension to file until October. For 2019 only, that deadline is further extended to October 31st. So they extended it in the current year for the 2019 filing for most filers, and December 31st, 2020 for those impacted by the California wildfires, the Iowa Derecho, Hurricane Laura, the Oregon wildfires, or Hurricane Sally. Taxpayers should never file the FBAR with individual business, trust, or state tax returns. For more information, see the FBAR fact sheet posted on irs.gov. There's a link to the FBAR fact sheet here. There'll be a link to this in the description.